Welcome to InsectTech's Ethical Hacking course videos, module Wireless Hacking. In this video, we'll look at basics of wireless networks, creating fake access points, MAC spoofing, WLAN security types, breaking web keys using Aircrack NG and Gurix Wi-Fi cracker, and finally countermeasures. To start with, a wireless network is a group of computers connected together without any physical medium like Ethernet cables. Now let us try to understand how this Wi-Fi works. Wi-Fi generally uses radio waves for its connection and communication. A station generally, let us take this laptop, it converts its data into radio waves and sends it to the Wi-Fi router. This router receives its data and sends the information to internet after decoding the data received from this laptop. Now the router receives the information back from the internet and again sends it to the station, in our case this laptop, in the form of radio waves. So this is how typical Wi-Fi network works. These are the hardware we are gonna use in this particular video to practice the things that we are gonna do in the next couple of minutes. You need to have this hardware. Any Wi-Fi router, I'm using eyeball batten, and any laptop, and need to have wireless network adapter. In my case, I'm using WUSB54GC, which is of Cisco, and it is compatible with Backtrack 5 operating system. So I'm just using this wireless network adapter. So before actually starting the attacks on wireless networks, let us try to understand some basic terminology. STA stands for station. Any client that is connected to our access point can be termed as STA. WAP stands for wireless access point. This is the actual router we have, wireless router. In our case, this is eyeball batten. And beacons are the packets broadcasted by the access points. In our case, our eyeball batten router broadcasts some packets to show its availability. And BSSID is basic service set identifier. This is the MAC address of the access point. And SSID is the service set identifier. This is the name of the access point being displayed for stations to connect. This is what we see when we try to look for Wi-Fi connections that are available for us. So this is the SSID, and this is one SSID, and this is one more SSID. So let us go back to the presentation. The next one is MAC address. MAC address is a unique address given by the hardware manufacturer. Generally, it consists of 6 bytes, whereas the first 3 bytes are for the identification of the manufacturer, and the last 3 bytes represent the device ID. Now let us have a simple demonstration of how we can create fake access points. Before actually proceeding with this, let us go back to our previous slide and see, we have already discussed about these beacon frames. Beacon frames are the packets that are being broadcasted by the access points to show their visibility. And in this particular demonstration, what we are going to do is, we are going to generate some beacon frames from an access point which doesn't exist. So this is how we are going to create a fake access point. Let us go to Backtrack instance. In Backtrack, we have an interesting tool called MDK3. It stands for murder, death, kill. Let us see the help file of it to see the usage. This is how we can use it. I'm just scrolling up. Great, it has given the usage MDK3 space interface space test mode. We can have many test modes, and among them we are going to use beacon flood mode, which is with B. What it does is it sends beacon frames to show fake access points at clients, and this can sometimes crash network scanners and even drivers, so we have to be careful while doing this. And last option is test options. This is optional. Let us see how we can use that. So let us first look at what are the available interfaces we have. For that, I'm just going to type a command iwconfig. Right now we have no wireless extensions, so I'm just going to add my wireless extension, which is we have already seen. I'm just going to connect this through my USB port. So I have connected. Now let us bring it into backtrack instance. Great. Now if you type the same command, great, we have one extra wireless extension with the name WLAN 0. This is the wireless extension just now I have connected. Now we have to put this card in monitor mode. To put the card into monitor mode, we have a simple command with the tool airmon-ng start WLAN 0. We need to put WLAN 0 into monitor mode. So I'm just pressing enter, and monitor mode has been created on the interface mon0. So that's nice. Now we are going to use this particular mon0 interface in our attack. So let's open a new terminal and type mdk3 mon0 is my interface, and B stands for beacon flood mode, and I'm going to use one more option to specify a name for my access point. Let us put it insectx. Before running this command, let us see if any access point is there with the name insectx. No access point is there with the name, so let's press enter. And now if you go back to your Wi-Fi access points list, great, one access point has been created with the name insectx. This is a fake access point which we have created. So this is how we can create fake access points using backtrack operating system. Let us quickly go back to our presentation. Now, MAC spoofing. Sometimes your MAC address may be filtered by the owner of your target router. If it is the case, you cannot access internet through that router since your MAC address has been filtered. In such cases, we can spoof our MAC address with somebody else's MAC address and we can get access to the internet. Now let us see how we can do that using backtrack operating system. I have just opened my backtrack instance. Now first let me check my wireless extensions. iwconfig, great, I have WLAN 0. This is the wireless extension I have. First let me check what is the MAC address of this particular wireless card. I am just going to use MAC changer tool to do that. -s WLAN 0. Great, this is my current MAC address. Yeah, now I'm going to change this particular MAC address and I'm going to spoof this with some fake MAC address. So to do that, I need to put my card down, if config WLAN 0 down. Now I'm just going to change the MAC address to 001100, some random MAC address, let us say this. Now great, the current MAC address is this and the faked MAC address is this. Now let me put this up. Great. Now if I check my MAC address using the previous command, which is MAC changer -s, see, it is showing the spoofed MAC address rather than the original MAC address. So this is how we can spoof MAC addresses using MAC changer tool.